lead story from Monday, June 30th. In today's creator-centric adult industry, performers shoulder not only on-camera work, but also scripting, editing, marketing, and ongoing fan interaction tasks once handled by studios. To manage the growing workload and sustain subscriber engagement, many turn to AI tools, both mainstream LLMs like ChatGPT and new niche solutions like GPTs to draft scripts, automate responses, plan shoots, and even price custom content. While AI boosts efficiency and revenue potential, some creators remain cautious about over-automating client interactions and the broader implications for the industry. Well, we've always known, ladies and gentlemen, that the adult industry adapts early and they adopt fast. So, let's of course, welcome to the first episode here while I'm in the Philippines, episode 1830. Let's talk just a little bit here about this. We know that the adult industry has always been early adopters of all new technology. And, they were early adopters of Betamax, then VHS, and then CDs and DVDs and CDs, and, and then online. And really, they've served that market considerably. And creators now are able to have, I guess, more time to be creative. And one thing I found was interesting is some people request specific scenes and scenarios. I thought, oh my goodness, what have we gotten into here? But the the only fan type sites are exploding, I guess. And just like podcasting in a way, a lot of these creators are talent, marketing, everything that goes along with it. So, I'm not surprised. And they're using LLMs to write scripts, respond to emails, and blah, 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 blah. All the stuff that goes along with it. So, and it's making it easier. They're having more time to do other things instead of creating content because they're using the large language models to be able to interact more per se. And ChatGPT is a bit of an issue, though, because it won't give them everything they want because of adult restrictions, but yet they word the prompting in a certain way. And also, they have a new chatbot for just the adult industry. So I don't think this comes as a surprise, really, to anyone. And in this regard, in any way. So everyone, I want to welcome you, of course, to episode 1830. A shout out to our incredible sponsor at GoDaddy. Score exclusive deals and discounts at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. And to all of our listeners, you are the heartbeat of this show. If you want to support GNC, head to geeknewscentral.com/insider and become a GNC insider. We are lit and live. Don't just listen. Experience the show live by grabbing a modern podcast app at podcastapps.com. You can interact, of course, in real time. Of course, check out the full Geek News Central universe at geeknewscentral.com, where you'll find all of our partner shows and tons of new content. Of course, stay in the loop. Follow or subscribe to the podcast via your favorite podcast app. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter at geeknewscentral.com for even more insider scoops. Of course, you can join the conversation at geeknews.chat or email me at geeknews@gmail.com. You can hit me up on X at geeknews, and you can even catch me on Facebook. So, we don't want to forget our sponsor, GoDaddy, and the deals are live and lit as well. You can get your GoDaddy deals available now. Let's start with a website or podcast. GNC codes make it easy and affordable. Grab GoDaddy's economy hosting for just $6.99 a month. That's a full year of hosting with a free domain name, professional email, an SSL certificate. Of course, if you're interested in WordPress, my favorite, WordPress Managed Hosting is just $12.99 a month, which includes a free domain name, professional email, and SSL certificate. Of course, if you need a domain name, you get yours for just $11.99. You can get a GoDaddy website builder for 30-day free trial on a personal business or business plus plans. Of course, I use all of the GoDaddy products and services. And of course, your support keeps this podcast alive. Use our codes, click and save. You're backing an independent team of creators. Share my codes or website, links with your friends, family, because every time a code is used, it supports Geek News Central. Thank you for keeping us online and going strong. And of course, we did get a report from GoDaddy. We had a good June. I mean, but not as good as the previous month, but still, I definitely appreciate your all support. Thank you so much for that. So, yep, here I'm in the Philippines again, and got the new studio wired up. Had a couple of technical details today, so I re-recorded the intro to the show. So it's still, again, the Rodecaster wants to disconnect and be an irritant. So I will basically work to see if I can get it to handle a more steady connection and not disconnect. Have some ideas on that, just like the last time, but maybe I'm just going to have to replace this Duo with a Pro. I'd hate to do that. I don't like that idea at all. It takes up too much desk space to begin with, and a bunch of more money to spend. But anyway, here, and we're going to get into the content for you. Got a new camera as well. So I think the camera view is good. I do have a little bleed on the green screen. I'll work to get that out. But otherwise, I'm very, very happy with this new camera that I brought along. And I'll probably be employing one of these in my studio in Michigan as well, as my PTZ cameras are getting a little long in the tooth. But this is a really, really, really good option if I decide to make that jump, and the focal length is just about perfect. So let's go ahead and get into the stack. Thank you for being here, and of course, thank you for staying subscribed. It's been reported that self-employed workers are earning more, and AI is the reason why. Freelancers are charging more for AI-driven work, reports claim. It makes sense. They're able to get more done. And it's interesting that they're able to charge more, because what is the response is that companies, instead of hiring full-time employees, are now using folks to essentially freelancers to fill the roles of full-time employees for recurring tasks. It doesn't say what kind of work they're doing, but there is this additional shift where Fiverr explored the shift, revealing most businesses plan to hire freelancers up to 10 times more in the next 6 months. 2 in 5 UK businesses will be using freelancers more freelancers than ever in 2025, saving an average of £33,000 per month by favoring freelancers over in-house employees. However, with that added flexibility comes increased financial complications. More than 55% state that the current tax laws deter businesses from hiring freelancers, and only 2 in 5 freelancers feel supported by the government. Reduced worker protection and rights have also caused freelancers have to consider diversifying their income. 70% now have more than 2 jobs, which is interesting in itself on the freelancer standpoint. According to rudebaguette.com, we're apparently potentially trapped in a black hole. That is the title of this particular article. James Webb discovery is an igniting existential shockwave through world's top astrophysicists. They're saying this groundbreaking discovery, essentially that orbits of most universes are clockwise, a high percentage. And somehow I think that the reason for this is because we're in a black hole. Well, we've always wondered what the Big Bang expanded into. Maybe it didn't expand into nothing. Maybe we're just in a black hole along with other black holes. And it's just kind of crazy. It really is some of these theories that are currently coming out. But that's the commentary from the web here. 95% of phishing attacks in healthcare go unreported. And why? It's because teams are afraid to report something, feeling they may be fired. In healthcare, where trust and privacy go hand in hand, this level of inaction should really, really raise serious concerns. According to industry, 60% of healthcare organizations experienced email-related breaches last year, and 3/4 expect breaches to continue this year. But 95% of folks are not reporting, which is very, very sad, to be honest with you. At the same time, NASA, they're saying that they need a cybersecurity risk assessment. So NASA needs to complete key activities within various steps of its cybersecurity risk management program, the U.S. Government Accounting Office says in a new report. NASA has implemented some steps from NIST already, but they need to have a full-on audit, according to GAO. And just should not be surprising. You would think, though, with the IT support that is happening within companies, within the government, you would think that this would already have been accomplished. But according to this article, it has not. DJI robot vacuum leak suggests that the Roomba arrival is getting closer and could have an unusual design feature. And, the one thing about DJI, they've been really good with their drones on radar, right? And being able to avoid stuff. So if this is actually implemented within the actual new robot, it could really be something. There's lots of robots on the market today, but this would be potentially DJI's introduction to this. It's kind of funny. I had my Roomba on the charger for a while, and all of a sudden, it finally woke up, and it ran for about 10 minutes and shut down. I think my Roomba's seen the end of life. I think the battery is no longer good. But yeah, it was kind of funny. It just all of a sudden it decided it wanted to work again. I have a lot of obstacles in my loft, and I have to use a lot of exclusion zones because the current one would just get stuck everywhere. So it's not surprising here whatsoever. Apple Music marks 10 years of streaming with a new all-time replay list. The service is also revealing the top 500 most streamed songs from the last decade. So 10 years of Apple Music. Got another Apple milestone to celebrate as well. Apple Podcast is Apple's involvement in podcasting is now 20 years as well. So, these milestones by these, it's hard to believe, if we think about it, late June, early July 2005, iTunes brought podcasting in, and it was really, truly a watershed moment for podcasting. The same thing with the iPhone, but more so when the Apple Podcast app was introduced, major ease of explaining what a podcast is when you could just grab a person's phone and hook them up. Moving on, the Sinaloa drug cartel. And this is a story that's been, I guess, coming to light for a while. But the Sinaloa drug cartel hired a cyber snoop to identify and kill FBI informants. The device compromises and deep-seated access to critical infrastructure expose surveillance vulnerabilities in the agency's work. And this is a new report that goes all the way back to 2018. But basically, the mercenary cyber criminal offered a menu of services that include exploring mobile phones and other devices. They were looking at CCTV. They were tracking the FBI with compromised cameras, security cameras. So pretty amazing here that this information has come to light. And again, you think about intelligence. The military and government's good at intelligence, but the cartels definitely equally capable in what they do. So many of you may have accounts with Robinhood. Apparently, they're expanding their global push. And some ways they made a big deal about them expanding their business in cans, but apparently trying to bring some investment stuff to the European market. So they're going to be offering tokenized U.S. stocks and EFTs across Europe, and crypto staking in the U.S. perpetual. So it's all about EU trading, layer 2 blockchain. So anyway, I don't know why this is big news, but I guess we'll continue to watch Robinhood. Going to be a big protest on NASA today, but NASA employees are being told, don't go. This is another group. So it's actually they've told that NASA headquarters, Professional Association Bargain Employee Unit, Local 29 is not allowed to strike. So this is being done by a third party, another union outside of the primary NASA union that is going to be striking based upon the budget cuts. So people are not happy about that. But again, what can they do for sure? So the iPhone launch happened exactly 18 years ago. And, I think we all knew it was coming. And where were you on June 29th? Did you line up to get an iPhone? Obviously, a very, very big day in the mobile world, changed things forever. People getting their very first device, Apple device. I think I still have my first iPhone someplace, somewhere stashed. If you have a Brother printer, hundreds of Brother printer models have an unpatchable security flaw. So serious security flaws have been found in hundreds of these printers, allowing attackers remote access to devices that are still using default passwords. So 8 new vulnerabilities, one of which cannot be fixed, were discovered. The flaws impact 59 models, from Fujifilm, Toshiba, Ricoh, Konica, Minolta, but not every vulnerability found is on every printer. So, but again, changing the default manufacturer passwords is something that should be always done anyway. So if you have a Brother printer and you're still running the default password, please get it changed for sure. Trump's health secretary, RFK Jr., wants every American to wear a fitness tracker and take control of their health. Now, I think this is a good idea overall. Wearing an Apple Watch, I get a lot of data. I tell you what's really giving me data. If you are a type 2 diabetic and you are not wearing a blood glucose monitor, it's $50. It's $100 a month if you can afford it. If your insurance won't cover it, my insurance will not cover the monitor, so I'm paying out of pocket for mine. I'm going to say I should have been wearing one of these years ago. Best investment ever. It really, really is. No more poking, no more guessing. Check it in a moment's notice. And effectively, within about 2 weeks of using this blood glucose monitor, just small tweaks, small tweaks, and I'm bringing my sugar down considerably. Just small tweaks to the diet, nothing huge. And I also can tell when I overdo it. So I understand the reason. It give you basically you got something on your hand. You can see what you're doing or not doing. So to me, it makes a lot of sense to potentially have a wear a fitness tracker. Um, my Apple Watch lets me know when I've been sitting too long. Of course, you have to wear it, and I don't always wear my watch when I'm in the house. But I think fitness trackers are a little bit lighter, so I think maybe he's on to something here. If just even 25% of people made some minor changes to their lifestyle, it would really be and make a huge difference. Hacker has pled guilty to breaching a company's network to pitch his own service. Of course, we've heard about these types of scams before, but a Kansas man has pleaded guilty to hacking multiple organizations only to promote his own cybersecurity services. So he was indicted in 2024 for breaching 3 organizations, including a health club and a Missouri nonprofit organization. Anyway, he emailed the business owners claiming responsibility for the attacks and offering consulting services to prevent future cyber attacks. He may have wanted just done white hatting, said, hey, you have a vulnerability. I found it. Pay me a reward for the vulnerability. That would have been a better situation. Instead of trying to extort money. But, it's okay to be a white hat and send over. We get them from time to time. We get those reports and we respond to them. So, and we pay bounties on those reports. Hawaiian Airlines says it was hit by a cybersecurity event, but flyers should be safe. And they filed an 8K with the SEC. It claims to have observed the attack, but didn't affect flights on their safety, and their systems are all online. And this is specifically around Scattered Spider. This is the particular vulnerability, the particular group that has went after Hawaiian Airlines. Joby has delivered first aircraft to Dubai as air taxi service nears launch. So the electrical vertical takeoff and landing vehicle has delivered the first production aircraft to Dubai, which plans to launch this commercial air taxi in early 2026. So again, they've been developing this technology since 2009, and they're becoming a launch pad for Dubai is becoming a launch pad for advanced air mobility. And Joby has a 6-year exclusive operating agreement. So we will see how this works with that company, how they do. If you have an Anker battery, pay attention here. They're doing another recall of another 5 power banks. So if you have the model A1257, the model A1647, A1652, A681, and the A1689, cease using these devices immediately. Do not store them in your house. Get them turned in for disposal. I don't know if they have a recall on those, but they have a fair warning on these devices. Do not use them. Again, fair warning here. I guess with a recall, that means that you can send it in and get a new one potentially. Maybe not. Anyway, the details are in the blog post, so definitely check it out. This is a second Anker battery that has been recalled. I had one that was recalled some time ago for my portable cooler that was from Anker. The Ryan Gosling soars into space to save the world in Project Hail Mary. The trailer is available. Looks pretty good. And should be an interesting flick. It's based upon a book. I like these science fiction converted to movies, and we'll see how well it's received. But we'll see if this should be. I don't know when it does. It say when it releases? Yeah. It's going to at least, it's only going to be available in theaters after March 2026. So it's a way out, but you can watch at least the trailer of it available now. Also, the Netflix announcement, what's available in July, and what is available, 48 new movies, including The Old Guard 2, Happy Gilmore 2, and more. So that list is obviously up in the show notes for you to check out as well. According to Reuters, renewable energy shares mix as the U.S. Senate preserves some tax credits in the current big, beautiful bill, as they call it. So the final version preserved tax credits for solar leasing. That's an arrangement where a third party owns and installs a solar system on your property, and then you pay for that over time. The provision lifted several solar companies after weeks of uncertainty. Shares of solar panel maker First Solar rose 7%, while battery firms Sunrun climbed 7.8%, and Fluence Energy gained 3.1%. So some of these tax incentives survived the budget. Nintendo, there's a story that is just making the rounds now. Why Nintendo pulled its products from Amazon's U.S. site. Apparently, it was a disagreement over unauthorized sites selling the Nintendo Switch 2, specifically because people were buying the Nintendo Switch 2 in Asia, where it was cheaper, boxing them up, shipping to them in America, and then reselling at a lower price than Nintendo suggested MSRP. So that's why, again, probably no one knew this, or maybe some did and thought it was weird, but no Nintendo direct sales have been on Amazon, only third-party sellers. Hackers now can attack phones via Bluetooth. Yes, hackers can attack phones via Bluetooth, earbuds, and headphones. If you're vaguely paranoid about someone listening on your conversations, you'll probably be a little anxious about that phone sitting in your pocket going forward if you use Bluetooth. These new flaws discovered basically that a huge number of headsets have this vulnerability, and there are 3 separate hacks available. Brands from Bose, Sony, Jabra, JLab, Marshall, and JBL, among many others. Notable popular models include the Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds, Sony WF and WH headphone series. Now, you don't have to toss these. This is a newly found exploit, and it's a proof of concept, but it's pretty significant in what it can actually do. So again, details are in the show notes. Big rumors out there that Apple is going to release a cheaper MacBook powered by a iPhone processor. Kuo is an analysis. Ming-Chi Kuo believes Apple is aiming to launch an even more affordable model soon. They've never really come under $999. But this projected 13-inch MacBook being shipped with an 818 instead of an M series processor, which is not an insignificant processor, but could make a model where they think they're going to ship 5 to 7 million units. And that's, according to this article, a pretty big number. Maybe going after the Chromebook market. I don't know, but definitely an interesting consideration for them to bring that particular chip to market if they do so. If you're using Tinder in California, Tinder's going to require face check for new users. I think they should do this on all these dating apps. There should be a face check, because these dating apps are just full of scammers. Full. All these apps should do this, using some advanced technology to verify people are who they say they are. that would really do a huge difference in it would shut down a large number of these scam centers and just nothing but people being fakes on these dating sites. Canada has caved to President Trump and rescinds its digital service tax on big tech. So trade talks have now resumed. So this is a pretty big deal. Canada was going to do as the EU is doing and taxing American companies. And this is a big win here for U.S. companies. Canada has folded in the battle by canceling its proposed digital service tax. The DST has been in effect since last year, but Canada was due to collect the first payment, around $2 billion, on June 30th. However, those will now be halted. To support those negotiations, the Ministry of Finance announced that Canada would rescind the DST in anticipation of a mutually beneficial comprehensive trade agreement with the U.S. So there was a 3% tax on content from large tech firms that relied on engagement from Canadian users. So, will they come up with their own tax in these trade talks? That's probably a good question. Meanwhile, the administration says they found a buyer needed for TikTok to avoid shutdown. So they have extended the deadline, we know, for another 30 days. But apparently there is a prospective purchaser of TikTok. Now, will TikTok sell? I wonder if they will. They're going to need China approval, of course. And he said he would reveal the buyer in approximately the next 2 weeks. So everyone, here on the new system, not without a little bit of challenges on the first episode. But I am much happier with the setup here. The camera's operating fantastic so far. This was really the first time using the new connection with the Rodecaster. I'm going to look into how I have that connected to make sure that I can potentially improve the stability between the Rodecaster and the Mac Studio. And I've had some other success last time. This Rodecaster Duo to me is the weak point, and I do have another option for piping audio into the platform if I continue to have a challenge with it wanting to disconnect in the middle of a live event. But as always, you can send me email, geeknews@gmail.com. I can be found on X @geeknews. Don't forget to support our sponsor at GoDaddy, geeknesscentral.com/GoDaddy. And for those of you that want to become an insider and support the show at $2, $5, $10, $15, $20, or $25 a month, or making one-time donations, you can do that at geeknesscentral.com/insider. I want to thank you for being here. Thanks for being with me. We'll be back on our regular schedule for the podcast. It's been my pleasure to bring it to you. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.